Firstly, may I get you to introduce yourself?
My name is Derek Canning.
And can you tell us a little bit about your story, Derek?
Right, on the 18th of May 1995, I made legal history by becoming the first person to be sent to jail for birds. It was used as a historical example to send a message out to other bird breeders. Now, they used DNA primarily to convict me, and the DEFRA were told them not to use those DNAs. It was led by a guy called Guy Sharrock from the RSPB, who led me to believe he was a policeman. He interviewed me, he handled all the evidence, and basically he lied in court. I know that's a strong statement to make, but I have the evidence to back it up. He lied about the eggs. I have documentation here, which I've tried to present to the police. There's an email, for example, to say, and I quote, that Guy Sharrock has a hidden agenda. He doesn't like people who keep birds and he wants to close them down. That's a police email from PC Rasenbury. Now, when I got to court, I was led to believe I would get a fair trial, but I did not, because the DNA probes, single locus probes that were produced by Parkin and Wetton. Now, Parkin was on the council for the RSPB, but he didn't tell anybody that. He was paid by the RSPB, who led the case against me. It was all sort of in-house with the RSPB. Now, things have come to a head because an investigative reporter called Ben O'Rourke has produced this, shall we say, book ledger, whatever you want to call it. And in there, he's went through the evidence. He's interviewed various people, including Mac Williams from the Wildlife Enforcement team from Edinburgh, and he has condemned Sharrock. There's emails from him to say that Sharrock flowers up the evidence. We all know what he means by that. And I believe he said that he withholds evidence and he perverts the course of justice. Obviously, this can be affirmed from looking at the emails. In there, you see all the information in regards to there's Sharrock there with me. They actually got somebody to collect the blood who claimed to be a veterinary nurse. She wasn't a veterinary nurse. She wasn't registered. She lied. She implied that she was working for Westway Vets. She wasn't. She was working for the Royal Society for the Protection of Animals. She misled it. And Dr. Peter Scott, a famous vet and doctor, has peer-reviewed the video of her taking blood, and her hands were contaminated with blood. She took it unprofessionally. Some of the blood she allowed to leak out and put into vials, which was a good indication that it would be contaminated. It was done in such a way that it shouldn't have been used as evidence because it was taken illegally. Bear in mind, it looked like Guy Sharrock had sworn the search warrant out. As a member of the public, he's not allowed to do that. The blood was potentially taken illegally, given that she was not a vet at the time. You needed to be a vet to take intimate body samples, i.e. blood. She claimed she was a veterinary nurse. She wasn't. She wasn't registered. And this is all documented fact. And then they went away, and then they claimed that I didn't have enough females to produce the actual progeny. Now, I obviously disputed that because I knew that I'd bred them. But the fact that the blood was contaminated would have had some sort of influence. And then Guy Sharrock, in his own words, said, Mr. Canning was a very difficult man to deal with, and I have absolutely no doubt if it wasn't for the DNA evidence, we would have not got Mr. Canning to court and we would not have prosecuted him. He was the main investigator. He led everything, even though he was just a member of the public. He used to be a policeman, but at the time he wasn't. So that's his version of events. And then the judge said, I do not sentence you because it has cost something like £12,500 to bring this case. And it has required the experts from Nottingham. That's the DNA experts. So that's what the judge thought of it. Now, after my conviction, LGC peer-reviewed the single locus probes that were produced by the RSPB, Parkin and Wetton, and they couldn't get them to work. They stated that they give spurious results. Now, I have the report, and it's been peer-reviewed by Dr. Peter Scott. They stopped using the probes because they didn't work. Now, sending somebody to jail for something that doesn't work, and what is unforgivable is Sharrock must have known. Various people must have known. I don't suppose that the police knew. I think the police were misled as well. But Sharrock must have known, and various other people, Parkin must have known. So you're sending people to jail doing DNA probes that don't work and you give spurious results. And I've fought this for 32 years. I've been to jail for a crime I didn't commit. I've had some really bad situations in jail where somebody even tried to kill me in Brixton prison. And also the fact that I've had to live with this. I've been a pariah in the bird world, and birds are all my life. And it's not just a termite conviction. There's a lot of other people that have been victims of this. Once you allow a partisan organisation like the RSPB to control things, and this is what this is all about. It's not just my case. There's lots of different cases in here of the police setting people up. Now, they don't take my word for it. It's in here. This is independent. Father knows being checked by the solicitors of somebody independent from me, which is what's brought this to a head, which is why I went to the Evening Chronicle for them to publish this story. Because what I want is for the police to stop ignoring me and stop telling me to go away. I want them to investigate the crimes of Guy Sharrock and the RSPB in the public interest, in everybody's interest, in my interest, so justice can be served. I don't know if you have any questions.
Yeah. So Derek, obviously you were sentenced for 18 months and you've been, living with this for over 30 years now. How has it changed your life?
Well, I was quite a naive, fun-loving sort of person. But when you go to jail, it is such a dramatic, such a draconian sort of change to your life. I've become a lot more cynical of people. I think I've become a lot more sort of like brutal in the way that I live. I don't trust people anymore. I don't trust authority anymore. It has changed. A fun-loving, friendly, sort of outgoing, naive Marks and Spencer's warehouseman. I've been ripped from my world and into a world that I should have never been put in. And it's cost me my relationship with my partner, who I was with for 17 years. She basically said it's either me or your appeal and whatever, and I couldn't give my appeal up because it's a cancer within us. It's the nightmare that I live every night. It's the nightmare that I wake up with every morning. I wake up and it's at the fulcrum of everything they think that I do. It's something that somebody can't understand until you've actually lived through it. And Guy Sharrock has made a career out of what he's done to me and done to others. And it's time that the police woke up. It's time my MP stopped ignoring me and pushing me away. It's time that the police investigate the evidence and see where it goes to.
And on a lighter note, I know you were saying, that birds are your life.
Yes.
But what is it about birds that you love?
From a young child, really, I've been fascinated with birds. I've been fascinated with flight. I was brought up in Benwell, and basically there was just sparrows and pigeons, and then I moved to Jesmond, and there was robins, blue tits, grey tits. Birds of prey were fascinating. It's the whole magic of flight. Swallows, my favourite bird is a swallow. I think it's fascinating. A swallow flies 6,000 miles to Africa and then comes back. I've got swallows nesting here. I've got cameras up that I watch them. I publish it on. I've got a YouTube site which has got all the stuff about the corruption of the police and what have you. That's all on YouTube, and I've got the swallows on there. I've also got my books on there, which is Police Corruption, which relates to what the police did and how they cover up the crimes. And I would suggest anybody who wants to know about police corruption, read that book. I know that's a bit of a plug for me, but I don't make money from it. I mean, it's on Amazon, and I don't think I've made any money from it. It's all, I think, in the public interest, I believe, in my interest.